everyone, welcome to the community classroom. This is Dr. Tracy McCarthy, psychologist, attorney, and educator. Some of you may have been wondering about how psychology and law merge, and so we're going to talk about an area where psychology and law merge, and that area is forensics. And so we're going to talk about some forensic dynamics where you merge psychology and law, or law with any of the sciences. And we're going to address this topic of deterrence because this is a hot button issue going on right now. And so we're going to quickly look at this idea of general and specific deterrence and the process of making an example out of someone. And so what we're going to look at is how you stop a specific person from behaving in a particular way and simultaneously sort of cue others to also not act in that way. And so the person is being made an example of. Deterrence theory may sound like a very fancy idea, but it's something that parents use with respect to children. You also see this in the criminal justice system where an individual is punished, and this sort of sends a message to other people to not do the same thing. And so here we look at this idiom of making an example out of someone. It is to punish someone so harshly that others will avoid committing the same offense in order to avoid such punishment. Now, it's important to keep in mind that the behavior that is sought to be deterred is not always a criminal offense. It's not always a bad behavior. It's simply a behavior that an individual is seeking to stop in a particular person or to stop in others who are observing this entire dynamic. We're going to use this puppy visual so we can address this idea of stimulus and response with respect to behavior and punishment, and then creating a deterrence situation. And so you may have the puppy engage in tearing up a shoe, for instance, or chewing on a shoe. And so in response to the puppy chewing on the shoe, you might put the puppy in the cage. And this sends a message to the puppy to stop chewing on the shoe. This actually specifically deters the puppy from chewing on the shoe because you remove the shoe and you remove the puppy from the situation where the puppy can actually chew on the shoe. And this serves as a message for the puppy, and that's a specific deterrence. And then generally for all of the other puppies who are watching this dynamic. So that tells the other puppies, do not chew on the shoe. Now, while this is a learning process for both the puppy and the puppies that are watching, this can also serve as a tool of manipulation. And you have seen this historically, where messages have been sent by treating an individual or a group of individuals in a particular manner so that those who are similarly situated will also get the message that this will be the result for them. And so in many ways, it's used as a tool of manipulation. It's important to be able to tie information, education to reality. And so with this situation, it's important to be able to apply this knowledge to your own life or to current events or to the lives of others. And so it's important to see the theory in practical application. We're going to look at an example of practical application in history, but you can also think of some practical applications of this theory that you might have seen in current times or in your own life. To tie this to some of our prior discussions, we can relate this back to the Jacobites, and we can look at what was known as the 45. And what happened with those individuals, as you recall, was when they did not behave in a way that was considered appropriate, those individuals, which would have been many of your ancestors, were given choices of deportation, execution, and many of them were placed into slavery. And so this served as a message not only to the individuals who were deterred from behaving in this way again, but it also served as a message to those who were looking on. And this message was undoubtedly passed down to the children who learned from their parents what would be considered appropriate behavior that would be rewarded and what would be behavior socially that would be punished. You also saw this dynamic with the American Indians, where individual clans, tribes of Indians were deported through removal because they were not behaving consistent with what was seen as beneficial to those individuals who were seeing themselves as settlers. So remember, knowledge is power. Take care. See you soon.